Hey everyone, and welcome to my next LP, which is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, as you will see right here on the title. And I guess the obvious question on many people's minds is, why? Like, just why do this game? Because, you know, I could do the original Zelda, I could do Link to the Past, I could start 3 running Oracle of Seasons, which would take forever because it's a lot harder. Basically, I want to do this game because I like it a lot. I think it's incredibly underrated. I think that people do not give this game the appreciation that it deserves. Anyway, so here's our little story here. After Ganon was destroyed, Impa told Link a sleeping spell was cast on Princess Zelda. She will wake only with the power of number 3 Triforce sealed in a palace in Hyrule. To break the seal, crystals must be placed on statues in 6 well-guarded palaces. Link sets out on his most adventuresome quest yet, copyright 1987 Nintendo. And it's crazy to think that this game is 7 years older than I am. So anyway, here, I got Edward, I got Fart. We're gonna be playing as Fart. Because, yeah. So already things are looking kind of crazy. We've got a 2D scrolling thing. We've got stats. We've got 1 attack and 1 magic. We've got a magic bar. I guess, well, I mean, that's not really new to the Zelda. We've got experience, which is the numbers in the top right corner. And we've got this, like, world map with side-scrolling, so it's like, geez. There's just all sorts of stuff to do. Anyway, the first thing that I do whenever I start playing this game is I come down here to this forest space. Now, this forest is actually a fixed encounter. These bats are giving me a lot of trouble, but that's okay. Basically, I'm here to get that pea bag. Now, pea bags are stuff that you'll see, you know, I mean, sounds a little gross, picking up bags of pea. But basically, they contain a fixed amount of experience points, and this one just so happens to contain exactly what you need to get your very first level up, which will increase your life to 2. So life is basically your defense. Oh, and look at that, we got a fairy. Not that we need health or anything. Now, leveling up life will also actually bring your life back up to full, which is very nice. Now, the other thing that I like to do is come down here and to get the very first magic container in this game. Now, oh my goodness, look at that, another pea bag. So that's cool. Now, this game also has magic containers in addition to heart containers, which is cool. And the first one is right here. Now, there's only 4. There's 4 magic containers and there's 4 heart containers. Gosh, I'm probably not explaining things very well. It's just that there's so much to say from the very, like, start. And this place is dark because we don't have a candle, which is actually what we're going to pick up in the first dungeon. And there's, I don't know, there's just so much that you can say. You want to kind of avoid forests, because the encounters in forests are a lot nastier than they are in the plains. And of course, if you can get a fight on the road, the enemies will disappear, which is good. Anyway, you come to the town, you'll find a person who will bring your life back up. It'll be a woman wearing a red dress. Now, when you also come to towns, there will be people that want you to come in their house and talk with their strange old relatives with beards, who claim to be wizards. And you should definitely do this, because that's how you learn magic in this game. So unlike other Zelda games where your magic meter is just like, you know, for your spin attack or whatever, you actually cast spells in this game, which is kind of interesting and different. I don't know. I think it's alright, so. Basically, the very first spell that we get is called Shield. And what that does is you cast the spell and it reduces the damage you take by half. And it's a very, very useful spell. Now, right now, because our magic level is at 1, that spell will cost us 32 magic points. And each of those containers is 16 magic points, so basically it'll cost 2 full containers, which is a lot. But if you level up magic to level 2, then it'll only cost 24, which is 1.5. And by the time you get to a certain level, it'll go all the way down to 16 points, which is 1 full container, which is good. So if you see an enemy drop a magic container, you should definitely go and pick it up. Or, well, you should cast Shield before you pick it up, or after, or whatever. Doesn't really matter, because it's basically a free shield spell. Now, the way that enemies drop items in this game it's not random at all. They'll actually drop them basically in a predetermined... Every 6th enemy that you kill will drop an item. Now, there's actually 2 classes of enemies, and each class of enemy has a different chance of dropping a different thing. Small enemies, which are enemies that you give 20 experience or less, will drop... Basically, they'll have a 1 in 6 chance of dropping... Or, 1 in 6? No, that's not right at all. They will have a 1 in 8 chance of dropping a P bag worth 50 experience, and they'll have a 7 in 8 chance of dropping a magic container that will restore 1 unit of magic. So, and then large enemies also have the 6 count, but it's basically a 50-50 split between dropping a red magic container, which restores your magic up to full, and a P bag worth 200 experience. So, yeah. Now, I haven't said anything about this screen, but it's really obnoxious, because if you fall in any kind of pit, like, well, not any kind of pit, but if you fall in water or lava, you die instantly. And you do have lives in this game, but it's really just more of an annoyance than anything. And the bubbles are annoying, because the bubbles don't do a lot of damage, but they'll knock you back, and they'll knock you into the pit. So, yes. And here's the very first palace, actually, which is this nice little white place with the classic music that they used in Super Smash Bros. Melee, so good times. I played Melee a lot when I was a kid, and I never really realized that, well, I mean, it took me a long time to learn that the music in that game that they used to represent the Legend of Zelda people was from this game, so... Anyway, here we have a Stalfos. They're pretty rickety, but they've got a shield, so all you've got to do is crouch and stab them in the knees. That'll show them. And they drop 30 experience, so they're classified as a large enemy. That's very cool. Come over here, pick up a key. And I mean, other than that, I mean, palaces work kind of like dungeons in Zelda 1 did. You've got keys, and you've got P-bags! Oh my god, another freaking P-bag. That's fantastic, actually. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because we're gonna basically end the palace with the same experience that you normally do. Unless enemies start dropping a lot of P-bags. So, then we'd be a level ahead, but that doesn't really matter a lot. Anyway, so you got keys, you've got locked doors. Basically, you pick up a key, you open a locked door. And that's really all that matters. Now, these enemies here that, like, keep spawning indefinitely are really annoying, because they don't give any experience. And if they hit you, they actually take experience away from you, so make sure that doesn't happen. And one more Stalfos and we'll get our next level up here, which will actually bring our life up to level 3. And then when you get 200 experience, you get attack up to level 2, which will be good, because then things will take less hits to kill. Although, funnily enough, the bots will still take 2 hits. You don't start one-shotting bots until you get to attack level 3, which won't be for a little while, at least. Anyway, you come here, you take the elevator up, because we actually need to pick up 2 keys here. And then we're going to go and get the dungeon item. Just like in pretty much every Zelda dungeon, well, in every Zelda game, the dungeons have items in them. And here, we're actually going to pick up the candle, which I think I mentioned earlier in this episode. The candle is special because it lets you see in the dark. Basically, it'll illuminate the caves in such a manner that you will, you'll be able to see, and you'll see the enemies and stuff. So anyway, here you got this guy tossing what look like clothespins, almost, at you. They're really supposed to be maces. I like to cast shield there because the guy does a lot of damage, and things can always go wrong in this game just because of randomness. And you get the full magic refill in the statue there, so you might as well take advantage of it. But that's basically what the shield spell looks like. It's funny, it took me a long time to figure out how to cast magic, way back in the day, because I was playing this on a GameCube controller. And now on the NES controller, you press select to cast magic, which, since I'm playing with the PS2 controller, I just rigged it so that the select button is like the select button on a NES controller. Now, the thing is, obviously, when I had the Zelda's Collector's Edition and playing on the GameCube controller, GameCube doesn't have a select button. So I believe you had to press Y to cast magic, which is just a really weird button to press for something like that. Because select, I don't know, it's just a little weird. Now this is a room that I'm not too particularly fond of, because you've got bubbles. Now as long as you keep your sword beam handy, it'll be good. And there's that guy who's moving really quickly. He's basically on crack, is what I'm saying. He's a bubble on crack. And that guy is not in a good place, but basically you just hit him once. And, well, basically you just learned why bots are the most annoying enemies in the game, so, jeez, that's crazy. So let's pick up a P-bag on the bridge here, which is disintegrating. Now this isn't going to make a lot of sense. Jeez, these freaking bots, man! Are you kidding me? Anyway, we're coming up on basically pretty much the reason that everybody hates this game, and that's the Iron Knuckles. Now if you try to fight Iron Knuckles normally, they're just going to block your attacks with their shield, but there's a trick that you can use. Speedrunners use this. I actually learned this by watching Nintendo Capri Sun's Let's Play of this game. So, yeah. But basically what you want to do is jump and attack them. And the idea here is don't jump and attack at the height of your jump, but you want to aim it so that your attack is like on the way down, just before you hit the ground. And then you will hit them every time. So just check this out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all it takes because we have attack at level 2 now. If you had attack level 1, those guys take 8 hits, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, and that's basically all there is to it. You just do that. And sometimes it's a little hard just because of the, I don't know, like, you have less space to jump your full height. If you have to cast the jump spell, it's really obnoxious, because Link accelerates really quickly after he jumps. So, these fucking bots, man, I really hate them a lot. At least we'll get to make good use of the fairy. And there is a fairy in this dungeon that'll heal you, since you don't have any other way to heal yourself yet. Oh, good. I was hoping that guy didn't chase me down the hall or anything like that. I felt like there was something else that I was going to start saying, but I don't know. I guess I could talk about the end of palace level-ups and whatnot now. Basically, what happens at the end of every palace is, after you turn the crystal in, you get a full level, or it'll give you enough experience to get to the next level. So if I walked in, and I know the boss is worth 50 experience, right? So if I walked in with 200 experience, and then I started fighting the boss would give me 50, and then I'd put the crystal in and it would only give me another 50 experience. Or you come in with more experience, and then you get more experience. So the idea is you want to come in with 50 short of the next level, which I don't think that's going to happen here. Actually, it definitely won't happen here, but I'm not going to grind. Which is why I said that getting all those P-bags from the little guys didn't really matter. So we kill this guy, and he'll give me 50, and then the next guy will give me either a 200 point, because there is one more Iron Knuckle in this dungeon. And he's going to give me either a, also, I don't know why I cast shield in this room, but he's going to give me either 200 points or a red magic refill. So, either way, it won't be enough for me to get 2 levels up off of him. So he gave me the magic refill, which is fine, doesn't really matter. Anyway, so this is the boss room, and the boss is called Horsehead, and he won't start attacking you until you get into the middle of the room. I just take a moment and appreciate that guy. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So all you gotta do to fight him is jump and hit him right in the head, or above the head, whatever. I mean, it definitely looks like I'm hitting him above the head. And if you reach attack level 2, which you definitely should, this guy's no problem. Just cast shield before you go in, just in case you, like, I don't know, something weird happens. He's not hard. Bosses in this game in general are not hard. So. And then he explodes because, you know, why not? Well, you pick up a last key in the dungeon, you put it in his door, and then you put the crystal in and you get the next level. So, after completing the first palace, our life will already be at life level 4, because that's the next thing that's going up. So and the max level is 8, so you definitely get a lot of levels really early in the game. Kind of interesting. Anyway, I figured I might as well end the episode here. So next time on Let's Play Zelda 2, we're going to go, and we probably won't get into Dungeon 2, but we'll get everything that we need to do Dungeon 2 in the video after that. Well, boy, I almost had to burp there. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.